There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. I always do this. I always do this. I always do this. This is the first time I've done a basketball stream in a while now. Appreciate you guys for sticking it through. But we're gonna get this rolling. We're gonna get this kicking, and we're just talking today. We're gonna talk about Zeke, Isaiah Thomas, and really an outlook on his whole entire career. Right, Andrew G, Eagles Nation. Shout out to y'all. Eli, Gabe, Zay. I'm gonna send in the link soon. But haven't done a basketball stream in about a month now, so I thought, you know what, let's get things going. And what better way to kick it off rather than talk about Zeke, Isaiah Thomas, and how he may be overrated. I'm not gonna hold you. Every time we talk about Zeke, what's the main arguments we hear? The intangibles, leader, two chips, back to back. And I just want to know how many times are we just going to give people this cop out instead of just analyzing the game of basketball? That's not analyzing the game of basketball to me. That's just you going off of narratives that people were spewing back in the 80s and 90s, right? After open gym today, I was just watching Zeke while I was eating some food and everything and just getting a refresher because I haven't watched him for a while now. And I'm just thinking to myself, why is a guy where he didn't have his longevity wasn't like a crazy longevity? When we talk about his talent, offensive talent, is he even a top 10 offensive player of all time? Is he? Top five? Is he? Probably not. Probably not. So you have a guy in Zeke where he doesn't provide enough consistent 3-point shooting. His mid-range shooting is vastly overrated. It wasn't as consistent as everyone says it was. Got to the rim, got downhill very well. Played on the Detroit Pistons. He was a great playmaker and passive for his crew, so you can't deny that. But when we're sitting here ranking him all time, I feel as if, especially point guards, specifically point guards, y'all act as if, say, CP3, Jason Kidd, Jerry West, too, if you want to rank Jerry West, better than him all time is like a crazy thing, and I will never understand that. We was talking about Russell Westbrook today, and in my head, I keep thinking about it in my head. I don't see how it's crazy to say Russell Westbrook was probably had a better career than him. And I'm thinking in my head, Gary Payton too, or John Stockton. But if we're saying all of these names, there's a bunch of people that have a pushback mainly because of what? The man went to 2 NBA finals, 3 NBA finals, and 1 back-to-back. And there's the intangibles that set him apart. It's the elite decision-making that set him apart. Well, if turnovers is if we're going to talk about knocking Russ for his turnovers, Isaiah Thomas turned over the ball a lot. Just as much as Russ, honestly. There was years, even in the postseason. Let me check. There was years even in the postseason, the dude's having above 3.5, 4 turnovers a game. In the regular season, having 4 turnovers a game. He wasn't this crazy decision maker. Isaiah Thomas was just benefited from being on a defensive crew that was just able to play at that high of a level to win chips. But they weren't winning games because of how great his offense is. I would say in the clutch, though, he did show up in the clutch from the games I remember. Outside of that, his offense wasn't this transcendent great offense that led them to victory. No, it's not. It's really not. And y'all just provide these narratives for just some people who win, and it's utterly disgusting. Utterly disgusting. Mainly because y'all just didn't watch him like that. I'll be real. Did I watch tons of Isaiah Thomas? No, I did not watch too much of Isaiah Thomas. Neither did y'all. So my homework for the next couple of weeks, I'm watching this motherfucker. Not even gonna hold you. I'm watching him. And we're gonna get down to this because the more and more I think about it, y'all didn't watch him like that either. Y'all just going off of what? Y'all just going off of y'all own personal biases or y'all own personal way of thinking of how or what led to those teams being great rather than what it really was. Isaiah Thomas is not this crazy efficient scorer that should put him in the realms of like top 3 to top 5 conversations for point guards. His playmaking was great. I'll give you that. His playmaking and passing was great. Didn't have great defense. Didn't have great shooting. Didn't have great scoring. So we're gonna put him top 5 for only great facilitating. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about, Joe?
Yeah, you cooking, you cooking. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like there's
Joe,
a
what?
lot.
Oh wait, hold on, my bad.
Can you hear me good?
What's good, Trina? I don't know if Trina's a troll account or not. I'm confused about that. But Joe, you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
What's good?
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like that happens to a lot of old players, and I think it's gonna happen like 30 years from now too. Like people are gonna cap a lot about players like crazy, like you know.
Hmm.
So you got to go back and do your own research. I didn't even know about Zeke. Like I'm gonna be honest, I haven't looked into Zeke like that. But from what you're saying, he's been overrated. From what people are telling me. Oh my bad. You want me to keep going?
Oh, I
That's all.
thought you was gonna keep going. I'm not gonna hold you.
Nah, that's all. That's all I got right now. Because I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch him play
Shout
like
out to
that.
Trina. My bad. I was reading the comments for a second.
I said I
Eagles
don't watch.
Nation, Eagles Nation, you're more than welcome to pull up. But this is the thing that gets me mad about people. Like when I watch games, I really watch to from an objective standpoint. For example, I was just rewatching the Kevin Durant Boston Celtics series.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold you. That motherfucker was just bad.
Nah, I'm not
That
gonna lie.
dude was
They had him in hell.
bad.
They had him in hell for
No,
real.
they had him help, but there was a lot of moments where he's like, bro, he's just missing these easy looks. And I'm just sitting here like, Katie, this is really bad, bro. I think I underrated how bad it really was.
Yeah.
And like that was a series I just recently watched. It was like, yeah, I probably had a wrong opinion about
Did
that.
you go back and watch Game on Kyrie? That nigga was cooking.
Oh no, I didn't watch that. I didn't need to. I'm watching. I knew Kyrie had a crazy game. He was going
That
phenomenal.
nigga, he was talking. He flicked fans off too. He was going crazy. I remember that game. He was flicking fans off and shit.
Facts, facts. And Khalil, I would say this: that documentary has done a lot of hypnotizing because I watched that same documentary.
Yo, I'm gonna do it
Love
on my
that
laptop real
documentary.
quick.
Go ahead, bro. I watched that documentary too, and it could have done a lot of hypnotizing. For example, like the Last Dance documentary, there was a wave of people that changed their opinion on MJ mainly because of that documentary. Now, in my opinion, if your opinion's changing because of a documentary, like don't get me wrong, maybe there's like certain factors that you didn't see or pay attention to that now opened up your eyes. But I'm a firm believer of like what we seen in like the moment is more closest to the truth than somebody bigging up a narrative like in a documentary to praise and uplift this guy as much as possible. Like
My
it
bad.
is
What
what
was
it
that?
is. I'm just talking about how like documentaries can shift our opinions just because they're trying their best to big up the person that they're
Yeah,
doing.
your dog is gonna be making your
Watch,
social as good as possible.
watch when Kobe has his documentary. I guarantee you know how many people gonna put him in the top 5, like or top 3 easily.
100%.
Tons of people are gonna do that. They're gonna be like, "Oh my god, I didn't realize what Kobe was going through, how much struggle he had to do, how much he really instilled into his teammates, the intangibles." It's the same thing. But then what's gonna happen is you're gonna have people being using my talking point of, "Oh, that documentary is just shifting your opinion."
Yeah.
No, no, bro, that shit
You
don't make sense. It don't make sense, bro.
did you
Get
watch the
the
Curry
hell.
documentary? I never watched it. The Curry
Who?
one. The Curry one.
Nah, I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either. I saw people hyping it up though.
I don't care. I don't care to watch documentaries
Saying
like
I,
that, like basketball documentaries. I'm not gonna lie, I don't care to watch it like that.
I only watched the Last Dance because it was COVID and there wasn't shit going on.
Facts, Angela, facts, bro. It's too deep for people to process. You're absolutely right. Shout out to Angela, man. We
But
was just on
people,
the stream the other
when
day.
people are disagreeing with you on the IT tape, like that was one.
People disagree with me about everything about basketball, but I'm cooler.
I was cooking about Russ though, bro. Like niggas forgot Russ used to be able to shoot crazy from the midi, bro. Like
Facts, bro. Talk about it.
that banker from the elbow was money, bro.
Hey
Money.
Russ, thank you for the Russell Westbrook respect. I have a hot take I want to say. For when it comes to 1 year point guard peaks, 1 year, Russell Westbrook has a top 5 point guard peak. 1 year, just 1 year. 2017, when you just kind of just 1 year, Russell Westbrook has a top 5 point guard peak.
Who would be ahead of him? Steph, 2016.
Yes, Steph is better than him. You can say Magic is better. You can say
Wait,
Steve
wait,
Nash
wait,
is
wait,
better.
wait, wait, wait. You said Russ has a top 5 point guard peak?
1 year, 1 year peak, 1 year peak.
Nah, I can't get with that.
In my opinion, that's my hot take.
Better than Kid?
Yes.
I don't know. Nah,
What's the best year of Kid? What's the best year?
You got
2017.
Curry. All right, are you gonna include the old heads? Are you including the old heads?
I will not include Jerry West. Let's go.
Include Big O.
I will not include Big O. We'll keep it post 3. It's a post 3-point line.
Post 3-point line area, right?
Obviously, Curry is better. Magic is better.
Curry, Magic.
Steve Nash can be better if you want to say that.
CP3 would have to be better.
Then, and if you want to say CP3, then I got Russ at 5.
Nah, I'm not putting Kid over him. I'm sorry, Luka. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. And I wanted to get this off. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to get this off on the show. Luka right now is like playing at a level. When we talk about like play, like offensively, like playmakers of all time, the dude's already a top 10 playmaker of all time.
I think you gotta have longevity because like it's like a longevity factor when you have the top 10 playmakers all time, in my opinion. So like if you want just going based off like 3-year peak thing,
I'm not gonna hold you. I do not think peak Russ is better than Luka Doncic. I just don't think so.
I'm the OKC fan and I'm biased, but I think obviously it's an outlier 3-point year. He was a threat from mid range, elite at the rim. And he was playmaking with non-floor spacers, so that's why with the degree of difficulty.
The thing about that, Russ,
and the thing is, for me, I don't think we've seen peak Luka yet. That's a scary thing.
That's the scary thing, bro. Listen. This is how I'm telling you. It's like Luka's, because his favorite player is LeBron. He's following the same footsteps of LeBron James. This man is like starting out and like excelling in a way that's just so higher than everybody else. That even this version of him right now is competing with like a Russ, a James Harden, or Steve Nash. Even I don't give a damn. Steve Nash
peaks in year 5. That's crazy.
In year 5, and we are all in agreement where I don't even think this is going to be the best version of him, bro. You know how crazy that shit is?
Yeah, that's
what does the best version of Luka look like in your opinion?
I think it's more refined. I think a better 3-point shot, better free throw shooter. I think more
decision making in general.
Better decision making.
Maybe a better defender. Maybe he puts more effort.
No.
He's not going to.
And I hate because people.
So the defense is never coming.
People keep saying defense. Like I just think Luka. Maybe he could be a better post defender.
Yeah, I'll say that post defender.
Outside of that,
Harden-esque.
He's
gonna be hard. His defense is gonna be Harden-esque. That's how it's gonna be.
He's incapable. He's incapable of just being a good defender, in my opinion.
Not like on ball, yeah.
On ball, yeah.
Who's gonna guard in the post anyway?
But like
off ball,
on ball, you're right. But like when you look at Luka off ball defensively, he misses box outs, he misses rotations, and he doesn't rotate to closeouts. So those are effort like that you can improve on. It's like
you're right.
Like it's like James Harden. Like James Harden was never an elite defender, but like between when you watch James Harden, low key between 2018, 2019, 2020, he was giving more of an effort defensively, so he wasn't a liability. That's what we got to do.
No, and I agree. I agree with that, Sturdy.
So Sturdy, that's where I disagree in some aspects. Not in like what you just said, but like in the definition of things, right? Like even though Stephen Curry and next from Waffle, actually next Saturday, we're doing drinking wars again, so be ready for that. So content this month from here on out. I know I've been slacking. I've just been doing gaming. Content this month is going to be exploding again. Discord wars coming back. Drinking wars coming back. Real life podcast is coming back. I needed there was a lot of things I had to get through this couple weeks. But we're good now. We're back and we're better. But in terms of like liability, for example, Stephen Curry, even though I'll give him like off ball, he was very aware. He tried his best not to miss rotations. He was still a liability in my head because if a defense could just pick you apart, in my head, I'm like, I'm sorry, you're a liability to me, bro.
And also, I agree that mismatch hunt. I do think Luka could be a good post defender, but the on-ball defense, I don't see it coming. I think with Luka just getting his game more refined and more like in tune and consistent, especially like because. And I say shot selection, like you said, because he's already such a refined, skilled player. It's like I don't see no big improvement from him. It's just like him being consistent. And like
all I need from Luka is just be able to shoot a catch and shoot.
Because like it's not like a like for example, he's not like he doesn't really have deficiencies in the game. Like that's a player that's really good. Like I'm gonna use like a Trae Young for example. Even though he's a great offensive player, he needs to get better at shot selection, game like this that. Whereas like Luka, or even Jason Tatum. He needs to get better at 3-point shooting, better at going to the rim more, and hitting the mid range. Luka can do everything well. He just got to be if Luka just stay like this for like 7 years, he's
Like, how
probably
many times you gonna say the same thing though?
I did.
We just like 5 minutes ago, bro.
It's crazy because like Luka, there's a world where Luka like.
I even noticed that crazy.
There's a path where Luka finishes his career like top 10 all time. Like,
Yeah, I was malfunctioning, Max.
Like that's the crazy thing about it. Like Luka could be a top 10 player all time if he keeps this up for like another decade and then wins. Right? Like that's insane.
Yeah, and the thing is, the Harden defense from like 18, 19, and 20, right? The same thing, the same defensive like advantages Harden used, where he was smart in passing lanes and he was a good post defender. Luke is also those things too. Those are literally his only strengths on defense. So he can do that. And then he also the post game that he added to his game this year, being like literally the best post up guard in the league. And then his mid range is better than Harden's was.
Not just post up guard. That motherfucker one of the best post players.
But yeah, he's literally like a top 5 post up player in the league. And when he gets the post, you double him. The little behind the back pass to wherever on the court.
And he had the playoff.
He's the second best passer in the NBA right now.
And he had the playoff translation to the max.
Bro, I think
he's ridiculous, bro.
I think him and Jokic are top tier.
I
think it's one A, I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah, Luka could be like a top 5. I would be able to listen to you if you tried to tell me Luka's already like a top 10 playmaker all time. Like I'd be able to listen to you. Like
yeah, I have a question for y'all. Like, do you out of Jokic, Giannis, and Luka, who do you think has the best chance of entering the top 10 by the end of his career?
Jokic.
Luka.
Jokic.
Right now, just off of them, they already won. Because that's what people are judging off of. It'll be Jokic. It'll be Jokic, and then it'll be Giannis and Jokic.
Luka needs to win for a lot of people.
Who's good, Herm?
I'm not gonna lie.
Man, what's happening, Dub? What's happening to the panel, man? Y'all doing all right?
We talking about the god, the myth, the legend, Luka, bro. How you feeling though, man?
All right, now you glazing him.
Man, I'm feeling good, man. Hey, Luka. I think Luka gonna take a big step forward this year. I think Dallas gonna be one of the better teams in the whole league. I think a lot of guys underestimating that duo due to the fact that Kyrie, you know, Kyrie had a lot going on, but I think those two at their best. And Dallas, the moves that Dallas made for us in the draft and all that, I think Dallas going to be one of the top teams in the West. So don't be surprised you see Luka MVP Luka. He might be in the MVP conversation this year. Those expectations I got for him.
That's what I thought it was going to happen this year, but I mean,
you can't sleep on that. You got to look at the foreigners. The Europeans are taking over the NBA. You got to be honest about that. You got to be honest about it.
Jokic might win MVP again, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Because he doesn't
I think Jokic might. It'll be between, in my head, is Jokic and Luka, because I think with Kyrie, oh my God, people just don't understand how basketball works on why they were losing last season. They got the little bit of defensive help which they needed. Now you're getting that defensive help. They're going to be like a top 5 seed. I think Luka and Kyrie are going to have great seasons because offensively, maybe at times, but for the majority of the time, they played off each other pretty well. And that's just going to get better.
Yeah, and they got more chemistry. And they got more chemistry now, too.
I have the Mavericks as a contender this year.
I think Mavericks will be top 4.
So this season with Luka and Kyrie playing off of each other, I think they're both going to help each other out. Their both numbers are going to look better with each other. And, bro, I'm telling you, I think Luka's winning MVP.
That's the best offensive duo in the NBA right now.
I got Luka and Giannis.
I ain't gonna lie, Dub. This is what they keep forgetting about Kyrie Irving. When Kyrie Irving playing at the elite level, that's a 50, 40, 90 guy easily year after year. So they keep forgetting about that about Kyrie. So Luka got a guy that's a 50, 40, 90 guy. Luka go love Kyrie. He gonna love playing beside Kyrie.
The only thing with Luka winning MVP is will it be a top 3 seed, because I feel like the West is stacked. I feel like the West is stacked this year.
I feel like that mold was kind of broken. No,
like, not really.
It's not broken.
It's not broken.
I mean, I feel like it had
there's always anomalies.
I mean, there's always anomalies. Like with Russ and Jokic, that was an anomaly season because like their team was injured and not Russ team, but like they had lesser teams. They just put up like great numbers. It's gonna be different. Like Luka's putting up 28 points with a healthy Kyrie team, and they're like a 5th seed versus like Jokic.
As strong as the
great numbers
is, like if the Nuggets win like 40 or the Mavs win like 47, 48 games, and they're like a 5 seed. Like I feel like he could still win an MVP as a 5
He's
seed.
not gonna win it.
Nah, it's not.
Not gonna win it.
Especially if Jokic,
If he
put
puts
up
up,
the
if he
same
puts
numbers.
up great enough numbers, I feel like he could.
But that's the thing. There's other players gonna put up great numbers, and people gonna see the wins. So like they're gonna give the guy with the great numbers and the wins versus like Luka.
I made a
And especially in the modern era, when they did those anomalies, those guys not just had great numbers, they had historic numbers. They had record-breaking numbers. So it's
And
like
and Luka's crazy.
that's why they became anomalies. And me personally, I do have Luka as the top three because of winning MVP. My top three is Luka, Giannis, and Joker, and my dark horse is Jason Tatum.
Thank you.
I think the Boston Celtics. I think the Boston Celtics finish what they can finish with the best. I think they finished with the best record in the league. I think he's not going to average 30 again because with Kristaps, they got to adjust their offense, make it more balanced. But say if he average around 27, 10, maybe 4 on great splits, playing elite defense. Because as a team, the Boston Celtics defense went down with Joe, then opposed to Ime. But they get the elite defense back up. They got the number one record in the league. I would not be surprised if Jay Tatum get MVP.
Sturdy, I wanna ask you something, right? Because I want to go back to the topic I started out with.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Isaiah Thomas?
To be honest, all right. So I'm gonna give typically Dub. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm typically objective with every player I rank except 2 guys. That's Isaiah and Walt. But I'm gonna be objective for this conversation. Zeke, I think Zeke, he's arguably a top 5 PG of all time. Or especially in this era, easily a top 5 player in the 90s,
Okay.
80s. So the thing is with Zeke, right? When you do research on Zeke's career, there's pre-bad boy Zeke and then there's bad boy Zeke, right? So pre-bad boy Zeke, he was actually no cap Dub. He would actually be great in this era. Pre-bad boy Zeke, go up and down, great transition player, excellent passer in the half court and full court. Great finisher, underrated finisher, great handles. He's one of the smartest players in the league. Actually, when he wants to become a great scorer, as he's shown with Boston, as he's shown against the Hawks, he can turn it up. The thing is, his weaknesses was because of his size, he wasn't really a good defender. He always gave effort. He always was actually like communication, but he couldn't. He was too small to guard even the point guards of that era. And his jump shot, even though it was a great form, was always inconsistent. And in the 80s, they didn't really utilize three like that anyway.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I disagree. I agree with you, but then I disagree with you because I agree with you on what you were saying about IT. I think, especially like before the Bad Boy Pistons, I think that was his best offensively, right? And people don't even know that, which is annoying. But when talking about arguably top 5. We talk about in this era how he would go. I just disagree with that, bro. I'm not going to hold you. I don't think he's as good offensively as what people think he is. I think when we talk about the passing and the decision making that people criticize like Russ for, he did the same thing. And if you have a problem with turnovers, Isaiah Thomas in both the postseason and regular season, bro, he was a guy who was having 3.8 to 4 turnovers throughout that whole entire stretch before the Bad Boy Pistons, which is crazy.
When you have that high pace of offense, yeah,
what was his assist?
He averaged 14 1 year.
He had 10 assists. And the stretch I just gave you, it was 7 assists, 11, 13, 10, and 10.
So that's about 2.0. That's not bad. Even with the high ratio, Dub, you go by the ratio in terms of like in the rate of turnovers.
I wasn't saying, I'm not saying it was bad. I'm saying for other guys like Russ, for example, his turnover ratio is similar to that, but they still shit on him.
Because what it is, though, it's not just the ratio, it's also the rates and also the timing of the type of turnovers you get. So even though it's like every turnover is not the same, you know what I'm saying? Like if you have a live ball turnover versus a dead ball turnover, that's completely different. If you you trying to get a turnover from like say if you pass the ball to your teammate and your teammate missed the pass himself, that turnover's on you, but it's really on your teammate. So it depends on the type of turnovers then opposed to just the amount they get.
So Sturdy, you're saying it's like so you're saying it's like when a quarterback throws a pass and it tips out the receiver hands and the other team gets an interception, the turnover is not his fault. It's like something like that.
So like you gotta take into context how they got that turnover basically. But what I'm saying to they'll be right. They'll be right because like even like that's what I said, like pre Bad Boys, Zeke was elite offensively.
Yeah, so I want to go back to a point you were just talking about before, right? Because even when he was on the Bad Boy Pistons, there was nine. He'll have nine and then four turnovers, 8 assists, and then 3.7 turnovers. So it's like similar to what Russ was doing. So in my head, it's like I think there's things that got lost in time, mainly because of technology and like recency bias. So everything we're seeing from Russ is more recent. So of course we're gonna harp on it more. But I guarantee you, if Isaiah Thomas played in an era where we were able to just watch all of these things and really like have a decision, like really see this firsthand, there'll be moments in his time where we were like, bro, why the fuck did you turn over that ball in that moment? Thank
Are you
God your
Look,
you
defense.
nah,
you
Thank
nah,
God.
probably
but,
Thank
but
God. Thank God your defense was good enough to not jeopardize you the
it
game.
did get lost over time because there was definitely one time where he definitely had a worse decision than Russ ever had. Where it was the Celtics game in 1988 where he basically turned the ball over to Larry Bird and he
Oh yeah, I remember
he
that
sealed
game.
the
The
series.
inbounds, no, the
But
inbounds.
he
yeah,
choked
but
against the Celtics a lot, by the way, though.
Mhm.
Before they finally got
he was
over the
also
hump,
cooking them. He was cooking them in
he
19.
was cooking them too. He
He was
was.
cooking them in '88, but he sold in '87. But aside from that,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
he was
That's
a
what I'm
very
about to get
smart
to.
player in the clutch
86
though.
and
That's why
87. Actually, 86 and 87.
Yeah, but like a lot of playmakers have those moments where they're just bad turnovers or they average a lot of turnovers. Like Magic, he literally sold the finals by just being dumb, like with the turnovers and everything. But the thing is, why people harp on Russ the most out of anybody is just the
Testosterone.
IQ moments late in the game out of everybody, and he consistently does it too.
Yeah, and I think also it's because like Russ plays at one pace, like it looks super erratic when he does it. So like people harp on it a lot more versus like a guy who's more smooth when they do it. And that's in my
Hey,
opinion.
But
Dub,
that's the thing.
I think
Go ahead.
IT man, I think he's the most disrespected player in NBA history because I think a lot of guys personally don't like him, so they don't look at Zeke as a basketball player. They look at Zeke as a guy. They just really hate him. They really hate the whole Bad Boys team when you think about it in that era, except for Rodman. Rodman probably the most famous out of all of them, but they really hate IT personally, so I think IT don't get his just due to that, especially with his beef, with his known beef with Michael Jordan, especially how him and Magic Johnson. People forget about how him and Magic Johnson was into it for 30 years before they
Mhm,
finally squashed it.
mhm.
It just a lot of little things with IT they be more personal with. I think he's one of the most disrespected. I think he is a top 5 point guard of all time because he was clutch. He did come through with big moments for Detroit. And when you look at that team, you really want to think that team could beat the Lakers, could beat the Celtics, or even beat the Bulls. The Bulls were more talented than the Pistons. It's just that the Pistons had the mental. And then you had a guy
No,
like IT. He was tough minded, man. He got it
no,
done when it mattered the most.
the Pistons every time they beat the Bulls was more talented than them. Outside of MJ,
I do think
their roster did not line up. Their
No,
roster
hey,
did not line up with the Pistons.
from 88 to 90, the Bulls were the better team. The just Bulls wasn't strong mentally.
How? How? What? Who the hell did they have?
They
Because
had talent, man. Bulls had the
Pippen,
talent.
Pippen in '88. No, Pippen in '88 was he wasn't even close to like his prime at all.
We know he wasn't close to his prime, but they still had talent. John Paxson was a solid guy.
Okay,
Horace Grant, yes, he was young, but Horace Grant was still solid. He was very talented at the time. You had guys like Bill
better than
Cup.
Adrian Dantley.
Yeah, I mean Adrian Danley, he was a scorer, but he wasn't
he
nothing
was a
defensively.
He was better than both of those guys.
I think
I,
Bill Laimbeer, Joe Dumars, Vinny
Bill,
Johnson.
Bill and Beer, he really ain't nothing to me, honestly.
Oh my God.
He
nah,
really
I
ain't nothing
think
to me to
Isaiah
be
Thomas
honest.
can be
He just
underrated.
had personality, man. He just had personality.
The
Which one was it
Pistons,
when
the
Scotty had a
Pistons,
migraine?
Pistons easily. That was on '89, but the
Uh,
Pistons easily had a better roster from top to bottom than the Bulls. Like I don't even think that's up for debate in both years that they beat them.
I think the Bulls should have beat him in '89 for sure, and they should have beat him in '90. The Bulls really was not a strong mentally team. They wasn't mentally tough. They couldn't handle the physicality of the Pistons, but they had the talent. The Bulls really should have started winning championships at '89. To be honest,
How? I don't get that. I'm sorry.
yo, but
I
Dub, can I
really.
ask you which point guards do
You
you have
got
above it?
that's Scottie Pippen in his second year before he even entered his prime. Herm.
Yeah, Yeah, I think Isaiah Thomas is like it's like depending who you talk to, he can be underrated. Majority of the time he's properly rated. He can be underrated or overrated. Or I think he's a great player, but we just don't really talk about it that much. It just depends who we put him up
If
against.
everybody say you overrated, how can you be overrated? Like if that's the narrative about you, how can you be overrated?
No, I'm
But
saying depending who you talk
Mad
to.
Max. The thing is, Mad Max. I don't think he's disrespected. You probably say maybe he's disrespected back then by like the ESPN media and like some of the NBA athletes, but I heard everyone growing up. I heard everyone, even to this day. Isaiah Thomas, top 3 point guard, top 5 lock point guard, right? One of the best ever. Great God in clutch. I think he's one of the most respected athletes, in my opinion. I'm the only person saying this motherfucker's overrated.
Yeah, I
I
ain't
think
gonna-
it's
No,
overrated.
hell no, hell no.
My thing is
Huh?
my thing with IT.
You're not the only motherfucker saying that.
All right.
You-
My bad.
Let me say this. You got motherfuckers saying that.
Hey Dub, let me hear the because I know you've been on your IT bag for a while now. Let me hear the point guards that you have over him. Like
Alright,
Magic,
so-
Steph. I know Chris Paul.
Magic Steph, CP3,
Yeah.
a kid will be over him. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. John
you-
Stockton probably over him, which is crazy.
Okay.
Surprise,
Steve Nash,
Oh, you really don't like that nigga.
Steve Nash probably over him.
Steve Nash. Okay. I can get with
All right,
Steve Nash.
we got Steve Nash over him. What else we got? In my head, sometimes if I'm
Westbrook?
gonna be nasty, GP might be over his ass.
You have Westbrook, right? You have Westbrook.
Westbrook might be over his ass.
I'm not mad at Russ.
But these are like debatables in my head.
Is Luca over him already? Or did you say Luca?
Luca
Yo,
may be.
That's nasty.
Pick-
All time.
Hey, Doug. Hey,
Pick
Doug.
Luka,
That's what I want
pick
you to do,
IT. I'm
Doug.
picking pick Luca.
Hey, Doug. That's what I want you
Nah,
to
yeah,
do.
no.
Watch
up?
the 1989. Watch that whole series in 1989 Eastern Conference Finals. The only difference in that series, Doug, Dennis Rodman was dominating that series for us, the Bulls, and defensively. Outside of that, the Bulls were just as talented, and the Bulls really can hang with them. It's just that certain mental lapses that they had, losing in those 6 games against Detroit, it was all mental. And Dennis Rodman, he really was the difference in that series as well. Man.
Ramen changed a lot of series, bro.
The thing
Well,
is,
that's a
yeah, I would
nice,
agree with you there. The thing with the Bulls, I think they competed with them very well, and like offensively, they weren't being able to get off, so it was always a defensive battle between the two. But I still think like just outside of that, they just was just better in my head from top to bottom.
No, especially
that's
really
a
dope.
nice,
I'm being real with you, especially in 1990. That series in particular, the Bulls really only lost because Scottie Pippen had a migraine.
I can't
Like that
imagine.
year,
Yeah, they would have won. They would have won.
Jordan
Yeah, that
losing
year-
teams that he was more talented than. Oh man.
no, that's real talk. It happened, but like, yeah, in 1990 they lost because Scottie Pippen had a migraine. Like if you watch that series,
Yeah, that
the
I
Bulls
know
is
that one.
better.
Yeah.
Bulls is better.
But are they better because they're a better team or because they had such a transcendent player, Michael Jordan?
No, it's just simple. No, they did have a better team, but like that's the thing about, especially in the NBA playoff series. Like
Mhm.
it ain't just about talent. It ain't just about talent. It's how you execute.
That's
So
true.
if your team, like we see with the Boston Celtics, have been losing to your Heat, even though your Heat on paper is not as talented as that team, but they've been losing due to what? Coaching and execution.
Yeah.
So it just like at the end of the day, it's all encompass of all those things: execution, continuity, adjustments, matchup. Ain't just talent. Because if championships were won on paper, KD would have like 5 rings.
But Herm said the more talented team, though, A30.
No, I agree in terms of 1990. 1990, I think they were a better team. But they lost because of Pippen.
Would you say more talented team though?
Nah.
Nah, but that's the thing about that too. Like you can be the more talented team and still lose.
The
Like,
coaching
Spurs
was
been
fine
doing
here too. From the
That's
Bulls.
fine, A30, but we're just talking about talent right now because that's just the top.
Talent up and down, no. But I will say the Bulls' top talent was better than the Pistons' top talent,
I agree
especially
there.
in '89. Especially '89.
I do
especially-
agree there too. That's where I agree.
Sometimes the talent didn't even get utilized. I don't know what Chuck Daly was doing. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I got like a personal beef with that man because,
Damn.
like, he single handedly sold the '88 finals, bro. You can't tell me like he damn near sold on purpose. The way
No.
Rodman was locking up Magic every single time he guarded him, and how bad the Lakers' offense was when Magic would get guarded by Rodman, he literally just ended up just taking him off of him, keeping Vinny Johnson and Joe Dumars on Magic, and let them fry them that whole entire defense. As in, even in he didn't let them run out in transition more than they should have. Like those
I
teams
know,
are always
I know
like
the
last
YouTube
and
video you
So
got
the
that
reason
from.
the reason why the
Yeah.
transition thing, the reason why the way you beat the Lakers, if you notice, if you try to look at all the
I told
losses
Dub
for the
that before the
Lakers,
video, by the way, too.
We did,
yeah, if you look at all the losses for the Lakers in the 80s,
I
they,
did
they
too.
lost to the teams that slowed their transition game down. So that in terms of transition, that's why Chuck they did that. Now I do agree with you.
Well,
The
you said
reason
what?
why they slowed they every team that beat the Lakers in the 80s, they slowed the transition game down. You don't speed the game up. We play the Lakers.
No,
You
no, no.
slow
I'm
that
not
shit
talking about
down.
the Lakers. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the whole team in general in the regular season.
No,
I'm
I was
not
talking
talking
about.
about strictly in that
I
series.
thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about the finals. So you talking about.
Oh yeah, I
You
was
talking
talking
about the
about
88
Rodman for the
series.
finals because he guarded Magic really, really, really well. As in, he just took him off of him, even though Rodman literally killed their offense by guarding Magic. And even
Dub,
though
was
That
that you?
shit was ass. Oh
But real
my
talk.
god, that shit is ass.
Mhm.
My
Real talk.
god, nigga.
In '88, real talk. Like he lost. They lost because Isaiah got hurt. I'm be honest with you, bro. Like
no, but
that
I'm
they lost
saying
because
that
Isaiah
series
got
would
hurt.
have ended before Isaiah got hurt
No, big source led.
if he played the right way. But yeah, Isaiah getting hurt killed him for sure.
Wait,
Now,
so
so Ace 30, let me ask you something, right?
Yeah.
Hypothetical. I know you don't like it, but serious question. If the Pistons were to acquire a guy who just great defense in transition, very versatile as well, didn't have as much offensive value as I'd say Thomas, but made up for it in the defensive end. Do you think that the Pistons could do the same, if not better, with that guard?
He got
Prince
a
Isaiah Thomas?
call. Sturdy. I think Sturdy's on the phone right now, Dub.
No, I think Sturdy just muted his mic.
No, he
Just
typed it in
listen.
the chat.
He did? Get
Yeah.
the
yeah.
fuck out
Wait,
of
so
here.
what do you think the proper rating for like all time for like
Damn.
IT is like top 35, top 40, top 50?
Top 40? I don't know. I'm not sure.
You talk about Jake.
I haven't made a
Jake
list
Kidd,
that low.
You're talking about
Yeah.
Jake.
We got the dude, the Hall of Famer on his team.
Dub, have you not learned your lesson? Why did you make it that last stream about this, man? Let it go, bro.
We're talking about it right now.
But you lost earlier, bro.
No,
What did
you
you say
guys,
earlier?
you guys was getting
You
cooked.
lost. No, you was stir fry. It was Dub stir fry. It was like you ever with the Applebee's, they do the 2 for $5. You was like,
So
on the 2
SB,
for $5
let me
menu.
ask you this. Let me ask you this, right?
Okay.
Do you think Jason Kidd could have done the same thing that Isaiah
I
Thomas
think Jason Kidd is the greatest point guard of all time. If you want to ask me honestly.
What the hell?
What? No, what?
SB, what's going on, SB?
What the fuck?
I guess.
I'm gonna come back out here.
Time out.
Hey, I want to ask my nigga SB something, man. 'Cause you a Bulls fan like me.
Whoa.
Let me finish.
I want to ask my nigga SB something. You a Bulls fan like me. Do you honestly believe that we was a better team than Detroit for 89 and 90?
You a Grizzly fan, I thought.
I think maybe yeah, because what was really the difference between the team next year when you won in 90? What was the difference?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just think we was weak mentally, and I think we couldn't handle the physicality. And that 89 series when we lost the 6 games, I feel like Dennis Rodman was just overwhelming on the boards and with his hustle and with his defensive prowess. I think that's what got Detroit over the edge because we basically was even all the way through.
Because
We just
my
couldn't deal
question
with
is this
that.
though: if you question that, what moves did the Bulls make team wise? And somebody background a little bit too loud. But what moves did the Bulls make team wise from that year apart? I think they had the same team. I mean, if somebody let me know if I'm wrong, please.
No, I think they have the same team. Yeah,
I think the
they're the
moves
same
are. I
team.
think the moves are player development. Just
Because think about it, it's a different. Because I believe that did the Bulls not sweep them the next year?
Yep, they swept them.
They swept them. So it was literally something just going on team wise. They just had to figure it out. That's it.
Or players just got better.
No. But what I was saying with the Jason Kidd thing, like when it comes to a pure point guard, what I want, I'm a big Jason Kidd fan. I think if had. All right, big Storm.
Point guard.
We saw the pure point guard. They went for the PG. I say Jason Kidd is what I want from a point guard.
Wait. Stop. Why not CP3?
Yeah, or like
I can take what CP3 do, but I like Jason Kidd from the fact of his durability, his availability during the playoffs, his transition during the playoffs. He, even though, like, yes, you could say Chris Paul shoot better, but Jason Kidd impacts the game better. He defends better. He played in the playoff better. So if I'm
Is
taking that from
defending is defending really a part of being a pure point guard?
yes, because if you
Really?
cannot
I guess
cannot
as a
guard
POA, I
if
mean.
if you cannot guard your position at point guard, that changes the dynamic of a
Okay,
lot of
cool,
things.
cool. That's fine. That's fine. CP3, he's a two-way player. He's good at defense, so
Yes, he
checks
is.
the defense gap.
Yep.
We talk about passing and facilitating everything. He does that
Jason,
just as good.
No,
does that
Jason Kidd is better, but just as good. But Jason Kidd is better.
I think
yes.
Just
I
he
think
does
Chris
it
Paul's
just as
better
good
in
as
the half
Kid.
court.
Oh, no, wait,
Hold up.
let
Be
Doug
quiet.
finish. Let
Let him
Doug
cook.
finish.
And
Let Doug finish.
especially like operating the pick and roll, he could put in
Yes.
transition. He could operate in
Agreed.
a half court set better than Jason Kidd. So and
I won't
that's
say
part-
better. I won't say better.
operating a half court.
I wouldn't say better. No,
I
wouldn't say
SB,
better,
You're
no.
lying now. You're lying. No,
I'm
you're
not
lying.
lying. I'm not
No, you're
lying.
blatantly lying.
Okay. Guess what though? Okay.
Who's
say
better in
if
the
I-
pick and roll?
Jason Kidd.
Oh, brother, SB, no,
Nah, that's crazy.
that's crazy, SB. I'm not gonna lie. I
Wow.
think Jason Kidd is
Okay,
much
so wait.
better in
What, now, what, this
transition.
this is my question. Besides those Clipper years, what dynamic are you really going off the pick and roll?
He's
Because
been
that's
doing it ever since.
But that's all y'all glazing.
I
y'all
think his
glazing
best
the
years was New Orleans, though. SB. I think Chris
Oh, wait,
Paul
what?
to me was the best
No,
New Orleans.
in the pick and roll, his best years were with the Clippers easily.
What about with the
best.
Thunder? With Steven
Yeah,
Adams?
He's been doing
No,
it ever since
no,
he got
it was
with
the
Thunder.
Clippers.
He's done it with
Phoenix.
Aiton.
He did a
He's done
great
it with
No,
everyone.
I'm not. No. Y'all not listening. Listen, Linda. I said with his best years, he did that every way he went. But his best years in the pick and roll offense was with the Clippers.
Okay,
I think it was New Orleans, low key, SB.
No, it wasn't New Orleans.
SB, I think it was low key New Orleans, man.
So you don't think Jason Kidd played elite in the pick and roll?
Now, Jason Kidd to me is a top
he
5
did.
point guard.
Not to the level.
I got
not
Jason
to
Kidd
the
as a
level
top
of
5
Chris Paul.
point
I
guard.
got
So
Jason Kidd top 5.
Not to
Oh, no,
the
wait, no,
level
okay,
of
now
Chris
Dub.
Paul.
Okay,
Nowhere
okay,
near
no,
that
I
level.
think he
Wait,
disrespected most of the
okay,
time.
wait, y'all chill. This is me and Dub thing. Dub, if I give you what you just said, right, I give you that. But can you argue playoff transition and you playing the same you did in the regular season and do it the playoff? Because Jason Kidd got that.
Chris
He
Paul
played
got
the same.
that. Chris
No,
Paul
he don't.
literally-
He's dropped in the playoffs, and
You're
he's not
lying.
available to the playoffs.
Liar.
Yes,
You're
he
a
dropped,
fucking liar.
and he injured every playoff series.
Wait,
That
has he
right
dropped?
there-
Wait, has he
That
dropped in
right
the
there,
playoffs?
the injury bug, I will give you that. I will
But
give you the
that
injury bug.
made Jason Kidd
That
better.
could be the separator. That's fine.
That
But
is
you
the
can't-
separator.
You can't sit. No, motherfucker. You just told me that. Oh yeah,
Thank
the
you.
playoff dropping of Chris Paul. He doesn't play the same level or better. He's done that his majority of his career.
So right now, if you had a team, who you taking, Jason Kidd or Chris Paul?
Chris Paul every time.
You glazing because it's
But literally,
by
Jason
extra
Kidd and Chris Paul is right next to each other in my ranking, so I understand a lot.
Wait, where you got Chris Paul at? All time.
3. I got
Regard.
Jason Kidd 4.
I thought you had him
Wait.
over Magic.
Oh wait, no, you don't
Nah,
rank
nah,
old
nah.
guys.
I'm
Never mind.
not. I'm
Never
not
mind.
doing the. I'm
He
not
don't
doing
rank
the
old
Magic.
guys.
I'll
Wait,
stay
old guys.
with Magic.
Wait,
I'll stay with Magic.
So what? Steph is 1, right? Did for you?
Steph
was
1, Magic 2, CP3 3, J Kid 4.
I like that.
Okay. I'm not mad at
Yes,
that.
It's not bad, but I think, yeah, because like it's SB. I
No,
think
no, wait.
Chris-
No,
My
my
fault.
fault. My fault. Go ahead. I'll see what I'm
no,
saying.
I was gonna say better counters like in transition. Like if you give Chris Paul the pick and roll, then you give Jason Kidd a transition passing.
Yeah.
I think
I ain't gonna lie.
I think
People
Kidd is better
people
than
forget.
transition.
People forget how good prime Chris Paul was because I made a TikTok earlier and people got mad. It was saying who's the best playmaker? It was Chris Paul, Steve Nash, John Stockton, and Luka. I said Chris Paul better than all of them. To me, in my honest opinion, people got
That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie.
It's easily Chris Paul. It's easily Chris
Oh
Paul.
my
No,
God.
Easily,
No, it's not.
It's nothing that you. It's nothing that you
No,
can say.
it's
not.
And this who now watch this.
I
If
think
y'all
the
gonna say
argument
if y'all
is
say
Steve Nash.
Steve Nash,
Yeah.
Steve Nash, best elite playmaker came from that Sun system with D'Antoni. Chris Paul stay elite within the Hornets, the Clippers,
SB.
the Thunder,
And watch
the
this,
Rockets.
Steve Nash was an elite playmaker his whole
Watch
life.
this, SB.
No,
Watch
he was
this,
not.
SB.
No, he was
Watch
not.
this, SB. No, watch this kicker too. When he got with Mike D'Antoni, what the Houston Rockets do?
They got better. They got better.
One of the
They
best
got
offenses
better.
we've seen in the regular
One of the
season.
best. They was better than the Suns offense. Stop
No,
it.
they weren't.
Yes, they
No,
were.
relative.
Yes, they was.
No,
SB,
they weren't.
SB,
He had
SB,
James
SB.
Harden
Hold on,
on.
hold on.
They might have
SB.
been.
If you go with
SB.
relative, I mean,
Relative,
no,
relative,
no,
no.
no, no,
Stop. Hold on.
To the era,
because-
yes.
No, because every offense, every league leading offense is better than every other offense.
No.
It's literally being
Max,
it's being broke every year. The thing is being broke every year.
That's fine.
Was
That's
Steve
fine.
Nash
But Max,
an elite
wait, hold
playmaker
on.
on the Mavericks?
Max. That's fine. That's
Yeah?
fine. But the
No,
thing
he was
is,
not. No, he
hold
was
on,
not
hold
elite.
on, wait, Sturdy. I know what Sturdy's gonna say with the relative. I need him to understand this.
Mm.
Sturdy, I get the relative argument. The thing is, Steve Nash didn't play in a fucking league where they had the Golden State Warriors right there next to them. They were still having a better offense than
They
those
was a game away
motherfuckers.
from the finals.
No,
Too.
but you know what's nasty
Well,
about that?
Dub,
Dub, he had
that's the
different
thing, Dub.
offense.
I can't control that, and they can't control that. But
Dub, you
I'm
had,
saying, but I just want to say this though, like SB, and you got to realize this too. They was putting up historic offenses even after Dan Tony. When they had Alvin Gentry,
That was
they
the
was
same
still put
offense,
up
though. That was
historic
the same
offense.
offense.
It
No,
was
no,
the
it was
same
not. No, it was
offense.
not.
Thank you.
No.
No, it
Thank you.
wasn't.
What was
No, it was
different?
not.
Thank
It
you.
was not.
You
They
took
did
the
not
words
run.
out my mouth.
Listen, hold on, y'all. Listen,
What
no, real
they
talk.
do?
It was.
Listen,
It's the same offense.
listen.
It's the same
No,
The
it was
offense.
same
not.
offense, Sturdy. Yes,
Listen,
it
listen,
was.
and y'all
Gentry,
can look this
Gentry
up.
is D'Antoni
Y'all
lead
can look.
assistant, bro. It's
Y'all
the
can look
same
this
offense.
up. Y'all can look this up. They did
I
not run.
know.
They did not run 7 seconds with Alvin Gentry. They did it.
Okay, what was
They did
different,
it.
Sturdy? What was different, Sturdy?
They won. They were more operating the pick. There was more
It
pick
was
and roll
10
matches
seconds.
essentially.
Oh,
No,
so
there was more. No.
what you
SB,
talking about?
I'm trying to answer your question, and then you won't cut me off.
Go. I ain't gonna say nothing. Go
So,
ahead, you got it.
so one, the one they was able to operate at more different paces than Alvin Gentry. Number two, they were more pick and roll oriented than Alvin Gentry and opposed D'Antoni. And number three, underratedly, they actually had Alvin Gentry actually trying to give Steve Nash more off ball action, cover him more pin downs than opposed to D'Antoni. D'Antoni had a little more ball dominant. That's three huge differences than opposed to D'Antoni.
That's not.
So
it's
wait,
only one huge difference.
let's
That's
talk
it.
about one thing you said. Would it surprise you that the pace of play was faster the years after Mike D'Antoni?
No, it wouldn't.
Okay,
It
so
was
the pace
faster.
argument is the pace argument can't work right there.
Because
No,
they
that's
was
not what I
faster.
said. I said that
You
pace was
said
more.
multiple of things.
I said that pace was more versatile, and I said they didn't run 7 seconds or less, which
It's
is
not
facts.
versatile if it's faster. It's not versatile.
Yeah, how is it?
No. Versatile
They
means
were
as the
faster.
no.
That made
Versatile.
different variants.
Yes, different
I
variants. So
know
with
what they mean,
D'Antoni was strictly up and down. Let's get the shit off quick. And
And
Alvin
Gentry
Gentry,
didn't do that?
even though Alvin Gentry, like I said, even though Alvin Gentry system, they did do that, but he also was heavy emphasis on the half court development.
Okay. Now look. Okay.
That's a huge difference.
Now, even if I give you that
That's
point,
that's literally an added layer to your offense.
Now,
They ran the same, but they were running the same sets.
They was running the same
Like,
sets.
they were
But
running
Dub,
the pick and roll
don't even.
sets was the same as it
Dub,
was with
it's
Mike
cool.
D'Antoni.
It's cool, Dub. It's cool, Dub. Give him that point, right? Tell me any time besides Steve Nash had the Sun jersey on, was he elite at playmaking? Because he was not elite.
He was. He was
not elite with the Mavericks. No, he was not elite. He was not on the same level. Chris, no, he was not.
Time out. SB, hold on.
Now, you can say good,
hold on.
elite, but no, he was not.
SB. I'm letting you know what you're saying is two different things. You're literally saying,
okay.
On one hand, you're saying he wasn't elite, and on the other hand, saying he was on the same level. Just because he was on the same level does not mean he wasn't elite. Those are two different things, SB.
So, what was he doing with the Mavericks? Please explain to me. I'm sorry.
Being the best secondary creator in the league.
He was.
Kobe.
Yes, thank you.
So he was the secondary creator, but on the Suns, he was the primary creator, right?
That's the reason why that Mavs team was the best offense of all time. And
that Mavs team was the best offense of all time.
Yes.
At that point in time, not right now.
Yes, at that point. SB. That's how the league works.
You got it.
SB, that's how the league works. The Kings have number one offense of all time, but we all know what it is.
No. I understand at that point in time it was. He said all time.
Steve that did have
at that time. That's the point. Like the
Steve Nash wasn't amazing.
No. SB. The point is when they was running Nelly ball in the Mavericks, it was still historic. That's the point.
No. Agreed. I'm not.
That's the point.
Nah, but you can't do that because when you said the Rockets, you see
he even activated Dirk off the ball too. But.
Yeah, because Dirk couldn't play make. He was very simplistic. Oh, they doubling, giving back to the same strong side shooter, and then hopefully they swing it back to me. That's Dirk playmaker.
Now, my question is,
but they had some hitters though on that offense.
Every great offensive team have hitters.
Can you admit
how much are we going to give Steve Nash credit for that, man?
I say like 40%.
How much credit am I going to give CP3 for having Harden? What?
Wait. Now listen.
I don't give a damn that CP3
you can acknowledge that. Sturdy can
D'Antoni
acknowledge this too, and Dub can acknowledge this too. Chris Paul changed in multiple systems. His playmaking was still elite in any other system he played in. Can a lot of playmakers say that? he
But
went
Steve
to
Nash was good in that system.
No, he was good in
He was good in 3 different systems. He was historic in 3 different systems. SB 3 different coaches.
The
Still give
Hornets
you 3
system?
historic.
He was good.
No,
He
I'm
was
talking for Steve Nash. I'm talking Steve Nash. Even if you do that,
Okay.
right? Either
Now,
way,
tell me what system
Steve
that
Nash
Chris
still
Paul wasn't
has
historic in.
a historic OKC and
He was
the
good.
Hornets.
He was good. He was extorting that. He took that team to the playoffs.
He wasn't. No, that's not. You said historic, SB. We must have different status for historic.
Okay. Well, he was great. I'm sorry, great. He was great.
There you go. Different adjective.
He was great in that system. I'm sorry.
But the thing with Steve Nash, though, is like the thing is like I hate it when people do this, and I just don't understand, especially when y'all not wins and losses guy. Why are you using the overall performance of the team to justify a player's skill set? That doesn't make sense to me.
No, to me, no. What it is, with Steve Nash, right? He gets people do this thing where like as if he only was elite because of D'Antoni. He only was elite because of the pieces surrounding him. I don't do that. I describe the players who they are and how they impact the game, but I only bring those things up to retort those type of points. Like for example, people say, "Oh, he was only productive because Amari Stoudemire." Why the hell did he win MVP with Stoudemire? Yeah, why the hell he win MVP with Stoudemire played like I think 6 games?
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. Like, and why? Okay. When people say Steve Nash is a D'Antoni merchant, why was on other historic offenses like Nelly in the Mavs and like Alvin Gentry on the Suns?
I'm about to tell
other
you.
different coaches.
I'm gonna tell you because the Dallas offense, like it's not the Dallas offense, like right after Steve Nash left too, they were still a top 5 offense. They finished actually the number 1 offense in the league in 06 after Steve Nash. So that's a good assessment of they weren't predicated on Steve Nash and his skill set. They were just a really good offensive group. So you guys using
No, the 06 Mavs were a completely different team than 04.
No, if they still number 1
for sure, Khalil. But I'm just saying it's a common denominator of it's not just Steve Nash's skill set that made those guys great. They were just on a good.
Hey, Dub, can you look up who was the point guard on that team when Nash left?
No, Dub. So
wait, no.
Dub,
who was the point guard when Steve Nash left, please?
He was not on the 06 Mavs.
No. The point is, SB. The point is though.
No. I just want to know who's the point guard that when Steve Nash left, they were still number 1. Who was the point guard?
Jason Terry.
Jason Terry. So is Jason Terry on the same level with Steve Nash?
No, of course not. But SB.
So why was the offense still the same?
I'm trying to answer your question. I'm letting answer your question. Can I answer your question? One, like I said before, that offense was historic with Steve Nash. It was still good with Jason Terry, but it was historic with Steve Nash. Hold on. Let me finish. I don't care what player. Majority of great players play with all-time great coaches. But for some reason, with Steve Nash, he's a D'Antoni merchant. No one said that about Kobe. No one said that about Jordan. They don't say they're Phil Jackson merchants. No, they describe who they were as individual players.
You want to know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because majority of times you can sit here and analyze if a guy his skill set is predicated on the pieces around him or just that player's skill set in general, right? The reason why it comes to Nash a lot because it just seems like his skill set is maximized off the people he surround himself around. And you talk about historic, like I'm guessing you talk about historic mainly because of the offensive rating. Bro, the offensive rating was 112.
No, that's other things.
Well, what makes it historic then? What's your measure?
What were you going to say, though?
Because the offensive rating was 112, and then in 06 is 111.8. So by 0.2 points, like, are we fucking shitting me? That's not. It's damn near the same fucking offensive
relative,
rating.
dog.
No, but Khalil, but right then and there.
I know, but the thing is, though, they added a lot more offensive weapons in 06 compared to 04 after like Nash left. And like I agree, the 06 Mavs are one of like the best teams to never win a chip. But like,
yeah,
if you think we're crediting the whole team's offense to Steve Nash,
we're not.
No, I'm not.
I know that's not. I know that's not what you're doing. I just don't see how I don't see how y'all using that as a point at all. When even after he left, they were still able to sustain that.
I put you like this though. Like I said, I only do those things in regards to retorting people saying because like when you ask me who is Isaiah Thomas. I ain't say nothing about historic defenses, or I said strictly about him as an individual and how he contributes to this game. For some reason, though, with Steve Nash, when people start to break down his playmaking, people start to break down his shooting, people always try to transition to his teammates. When I'm like, if you can't differentiate him from his team, what's the point of trying to analyze him then?
But
I agree. Hold on, SB. Hold on. The combo. So I agree in like assessing Steve Nash's skill set because that's one thing where. Like what y'all say about Steve Nash, I think the shooting and playmaking, passing that he provides for a team is like one of the best. We can all agree is one of the best offensive guards that we've ever seen for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But when we're trying to put him in, when we're comparing him to other players, a lot of times I never heard you like talk about Steve Nash like that. So not you, but like Mars and Lowe and just a lot of other people I see talk about Steve Nash. They use these offensive metrics of how the team performed to justify him being on the level of like a Kobe or a Jokic or like a top 5 offensive player in general. But I'm like, no, because a lot of the reason why you have that offensive rating to measure off of is because he was around crews that was just amazing and supreme talent. So how can I use that as an accurate litmus test on Steve Nash and his skill set if he's around crews that's just
what Dub, it's like Magic Johnson, right? Magic Johnson's been on stacked teams for the majority of his career, but you can clearly see what his skill set attributed to that team's success. I think that's what people try to do. What like Lowe and Mars in terms of Steve Nash with the historical performances like that.
Right.
That's what I think.
But even Magic Johnson showed examples of being at that high of a level, even without the offensive crew, as good as it was in the beginning.
He did that 1 year. He did that 1 year.
91.
Steve Nash ain't doing any.
Yeah, he didn't.
No, he did in 06.
1 year. Who
06.
Wait, when I'm not gonna lie, if you really want me to get in this bag, I'm gonna get in this bag. You talking about 06 when
Stoudemire wasn't even there.
That's one player. That's one player.
Stop.
That's a huge difference.
Where it's documented that the Phoenix Suns general manager had a head start of planning about the rule change that was happening in 06. They created a roster and implemented a system that benefited from the lack of hand checking. They had a head start to build the crew around. Like, I'm sorry. That's not an accurate assessment of Steve Nash in my head.
My retort to that, Dub, is simply, how is that Steve Nash's fault?
Again, but that's
what the damn.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
God,
God damn.
Oh my God.
I got headphones on. You gotta chill, my boy.
So that's where it's just me and you will always have a disconnected where that's where me and you will always have a disconnect in Ace 30. So like we don't have to argue about it too much, where I'm always gonna look into that and just value that and understand, like, not take everything that they did on paper like as 100% in fact. I mean, that's just what you do. So I just understand where the disconnect there. That's just where we disagree. And that route value right there.
I just want to say this too, Dub and SB. The reason why 06 is that matters a lot. When Stoudemire wasn't there was no Joe Johnson. There literally was Stoudemire. The best players were Stoudemire, Steve Nash, and Sean Marion. So yes, it's a huge. Hold on, SB. That's a huge. I'm gonna give you the roster. This is the top 10 dudes for that
Boris
roster.
Diaw was nice though. I like
Boris Diaw was nice. I didn't
nice.
say he wasn't. I ain't say once again. Hold on. See, I gotta stop doing that too. Just because we say one player is great does not mean we're saying the other player was trash. I gotta stop doing that.
I just wanted to bring up Boris Diaw. That's my
and Sean Marion gave you 21.
I literally just acknowledged that. SB. I literally just said. I'll just give you the roster because people forget he was a good role player, but it wasn't no stacked roster in 06. They had Sean Marion, Steve Nash, Roger Bell, Boris Diaw, Barbosa, Tim Thomas.
That's a good team.
No. Eddie House, James Jones, and Mark Stoudemire. Those are top 10 players. Other niggas they play. So hold on. That's a fact. But
no defense.
That's a fact. But that's once again no defense. That's one dude. You got two defenders. You literally had two defenders. It was Sean Marion and Roger Bell. All of them dudes can defend. But the point is, that's not a quote unquote stacked team, in my opinion.
No, it's not.
That's elite. That's elite shooting, though. That's a stacked shooting.
Hold on, wait. Watch this 30. What team was stacked during that time, though?
In 06?
The Mavs.
No, I'm saying I think it was
Mavs were not. It wasn't no team stacked during that time.
What about the Spurs?
So express that dynamic too when you say that though. Don't just say like, oh yeah, they were just
that's to your once again, SB. I'm only retorting your fact when you say Steve Nash didn't prove that and quote unquote now on stacked teams. 06, in my opinion, was not a stacked team. And you miss Amari Stoudemire, a huge offensive component, your second best player, and you still able to do that?
But Ace 30, but if you have 1, 2, 3,
that don't sound like a teammate merchant to me.
If you have 4 guys, because I'm not counting Tim Thomas because he only played 26 games.
Yeah, he ain't played.
Tom Marion had a breakout year that year.
He did. if he has Sean Marion, who was a good 2 and 3 and D, not 3 and D
Yep.
guy, but he was a good
Yes.
two-way player. Rajah
Yep.
Bell, who was a great 3 and D guy, and then
Mhm.
everyone else, including Rajah Bell, was like 38% and above 3-point shooters. That's
Mhm.
elite spacing for him
That
to
was
work
rare
with,
at that
bro.
time too, no?
Okay,
And-
so
But you got it.
Mhm.
But wait, but Sturdy, you
Yeah,
acknowledge the fact
am I
that Sean
good?
Mary,
Am I good?
Sean,
Yeah,
you
you're
good.
good.
But Sean Mary had a breakout year, one of his best seasons, if not his best season of basketball that year, though.
so
Can we name the Thunder roster? Can we name the Thunder
Hold on,
roster?
hold on,
that
hold
Chris
on,
Paul
hold on,
played
hold
on?
on.
Hold on, Magic.
Max,
Hold on,
Max,
hold on.
Max, Max,
Hold
say
on,
something.
Max.
I don't understand.
Hold on,
I
Max.
never understood this, bro. Why do players get punished for their teammates playing great? That don't make any sense to me.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you again, Sturdy. What was Sean Mary's best year of his career?
That year,
So what the fuck are you
It's
talking about?
hilarious, bro.
What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about?
What?
No,
He got
wait,
the best.
A30, I got you. Because all he has to say is that he played at that level because he was around Steve Nash.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
what
what
the
no, I'm not even gonna say that. I still need to answer that question. Why do players get punished for their teammate playing great? That don't make any sense to me.
No. You just proving our point that Steve Nash.
No. This is your point. I'm not in this point.
Okay,
This is
you're
your-
proving my point of that Steve Nash was more elite in that system, and his teammates was that he made them better in that system.
No, and what I just proved to you once again, multiple times, SB.
Listen.
No, you fucking up your argument.
Sean Marion played the Amari Stoudemire role that same year and gave you.
No, he did not. He did not play the Stoudemire role.
Yes, he did. Listen. Can I finish?
Let him finish.
Can I finish, bro? Can I finish, bro? Before y'all go crazy, I'm not saying that Sean Marion is a Amari Stoudemire, but Amari Stoudemire role is being one of the primary rebounders and primary scorers. And what did Sean Marion do that year? Was the primary scorer and primary rebounder. If I'm not wrong, right? Please tell me if I'm wrong.
He was.
Y'all just heard the name and y'all not listening.
No,
bro.
I thought you meant role as in
No.
Yeah.
I'm saying he took that role of being a primary scorer, primary rebounder, because literally the next year when Amari Stoudemire came back, he took his role as the primary scorer and the primary rebounder, and Sean Marion's stats dropped from that point.
And once again, SB, what? Dog, because I already said this,
bro. You want to know why he did that? Because of Steve Nash, nigga.
I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna say this.
That's
I'm leaving this
fine.
alone because SB, we're going to resolve and do it. I'm just proving to you,
though.
Steve Nash is not no D'Antoni merchant. If he's proven to be productive with 3 different coaches, he's not no teammate merchant. If he's proven to be productive when his teammates got injured, and most importantly, and this is a point I haven't brought up, when his teammates in the playoffs were having trouble scoring, when Steve Nash was asked to do more scoring, which is a proponent that keeps him out of these conversations of greatest point guard of all time, he stepped up in those moments. So we just going.
Merchant. I said he was.
No, I'm saying no.
I said he was a Phoenix Suns merchant. I said he only played.
And we agree to disagree on that. That's all. We agree to disagree. That's it.
Because what you said he led one of the most historic offensives on the Mavericks.
You ain't saying nothing but narrative, SB.
I'm not saying no narrative. It's a fact. They was the number one offense with Steve Nash. They lost Steve Nash. They were still the number one offense the next year with Jason.
What made Chris Paul a better player than Steve Nash?
Because Chris Paul did it in with 4 different teams in 4 different systems. Nash only did it in 2 systems on one team. So what's your point?
SB, that's not a. Okay, I get that.
That's
SB,
my point. Y'all can say I'm wrong.
No. Those are all facts. It's just like
I don't know how
it's once again. It's like how do you? It's like SB. Don't make me do it, bro. Don't make me pull out the obvious card. I don't want to do that. Bro.
No,
It's
pull
just,
out the obvious. Pull out the obvious. Pull out the
You might
obvious.
as well.
You might as
I might as well. SB, all right, cool. SB. Who's the GOAT?
Who's the GOAT?
Who's the GOAT? Who's your GOAT?
Jordan.
Okay, so even though LeBron had 3 different systems, 5 different coaches were proven to be highly productive. You know what I'm saying? Like you get, let's be, you get what I'm going. You get what I'm going. You get what I'm going.
That's perfectly fine. That is
You
perfectly
get what I'm
fine,
going,
though.
SB?
Now watch
Like
this,
I ain't
watch
got to finish that.
Now watch
That's the
watch
point.
this though.
Oh, wow.
Because hold on, wait. Y'all all say, "Oh wow," but 100% tell you that's true. Who I do not have a problem with labeled as GOAT though. I have 3 people that I say if you label as GOAT, I have no problem. I don't feel like it's either one.
Wait, but why is Jordan?
Who?
Okay, never mind.
Who?
It's Jordan.
You said LeBron.
LeBron,
Yeah.
Jordan, Kareem. I have no
Kareem.
problem either of them being the
Well,
GOAT.
Kareem Cook's your fucking argument too. What the fuck are we talking about?
No, we don't.
No, that's the SB. That's the point, bro.
Yeah, no,
Kareem was
that's-
productive in the Bucks and the Lakers. The point is, SB is like, bro, situations like that it don't prove a player is better. It just means they productive in those different situations. That's all it means. Kobe Bryant for majority of
When
people on
we
this
talking
panel.
about the playmaking
Hold on.
perspective.
Wait, MJ
Kobe
did play
Bryant.
in 2 different systems though.
He
No,
only
he played
won
with
in
he
one.
played with
He only
Doug
won
Collins.
in
He played
one.
with Doug Collins and Phil Jackson.
No.
And Doug
He played in 2
and if
different
you want to
systems.
be
He won in one.
no, that's what we just said, SB. He played with Doug Collins, and
Yes.
niggas want to talk about Merchant. Doug Collins was the originator. Give that nigga the ball and let him do everything. He was the originator of that.
No, that's facts. That's facts. I'm not arguing that. That's facts. That's facts.
He was a crazy Jordan Glazer. Like, even for a coach, I'm like, God damn, bro. Like, just go watch some of the post game interviews. That should be crazy.
But I call LeBron to go. I have no problem calling LeBron to go though.
No. The point is, SB, when you assess players, you don't just be like, oh, he was in this situation, so
But
he
we
got to be
talking
pissed.
playmaking
Like,
though. Alone, playmaking alone. We talking about
yeah, like we didn't get to that. We didn't get to like how they play. We didn't get how they play making the pick. No, but SB, the point is you're focused on the situation instead of how they play make. We ain't talk about none of their pick and roll game. We ain't talk about none of their transition game. We ain't talk about none of that stuff.
But Sturdy, the whole argument was about playmaking. So now, if you ask me who a better playmaker, LeBron or Jordan, I will use that argument I use and say LeBron is clearly a better playmaker because of that he did in different systems. Because we only argue playmaking. We not argue better player. We argue playmaking.
I don't even know.
No, but hold on, SB. You even got to go that far to different situations to describe how a player.
That matters though. That matters though.
LeBron a better playmaker than Nash.
All right.
No. Wait, LeBron not a better playmaker than Nash?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
Stop.
So moving on.
They might have a different definition of playmaker.
The rim running merchant.
Oh my god!
Stop.
Hey, LeBron. LeBron is 100% a better playmaker than Jordan, though. We ain't got to argue that, though, for sure.
Not really.
Who's arguing that?
Yes, he is. No, and I do agree with Dub because like Jordan's playmaker is extremely underrated somehow, but LeBron is definitely a better playmaker. He's still a better playmaker.
Jordan could have played with the best of them, but he sacrificed his playmaking for the betterment of the team and played.
And that's what pisses me off. He didn't just sacrifice that skill set. He sacrificed the production. The skill set was there no matter what. You can't just lose that skill set all of a sudden. He had that shit the whole time.
No, he had it the whole time.
He just stopped doing it.
He stopped doing it.
He's way better scorer. He's a way better scorer.
Like Sean Marion, right?
Yeah.
Like Sean Marion, you just used an example. It's not that he wasn't capable of having 11, 10 rebounds. He just stopped doing it because he had Amar Starr next to him. Even then, he was still leading them in rebounds over Amar Starr a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said Jordan was a top 15 playmaker of all time in the Discord.
He is.
A top 3 what?
No, I have a question.
I said he's a top 15 playmaker ever.
He is. Jordan is.
A top 15 or top 3? I can't.
Top 15. 15. Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's easy. Yeah, he's easy.
Example of that, like James Harden when he went from Houston to Brooklyn, like he sacrificed the role of scoring, but it was still there. It's like to work to the point where he's still a top 5 scorer. Is that what you're saying, Dub? Like,
yeah.
Who you talking about, MJ?
Harden. Like when Harden left Houston, he was like the best scorer in the league, one of. But then he went to Brooklyn and sacrificed his scoring responsibility.
In the first year, he sacrificed.
Yeah, in the first year.
Yeah,
after he hurt his hammy, I don't think he just.
I got a question. I want to hear Dub and start your opinion first. I want to hear Dub and start your opinion first, and then I want to hear the whole panel. What if Jordan would have said, "Forget sacrificing my skill set," right? And he would have just kept doing his thing with skill set. He probably would have ended like maybe top 10, maybe top 5 in assists, number 1 in points. And maybe already got like
we'll view him. We'll look at him.
How would you view him if he only had like 2 rings, but he would have maybe?
I'll view him the same way. But a lot of people look at him similar to like LeBron James, where oh my God, 6 and 7, 8 assists, man. This guy's like such a great passer, man. He's such a great scorer as well. Like, yeah, he's definitely the best all around player I've ever seen in my lifetime. That's exactly what they would say if he kept up that Doug Collins, right?
Yeah.
Doug Collins offense.
89.
That's how they would have. The way that we look at LeBron, they would have looked at MJ the same way.
So you think 89 Jordan's better than
No, he's not. He just had a different role. He's not.
He just had different. Well,
yeah,
he might have been better. He
he was better.
No, it's the same shit.
It really is. Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
So that's what people would look like LeBron James. They'll be like, well,
man,
that's crazy.
God,
so yeah, SB. They would SB. They would literally look the way we view LeBron James. We would look at MJ the same exact way.
Okay.
Probably better because he's a defender, unlike somebody else.
Yeah.
Who?
Oh my god.
LeBron don't defend. Don't do that.
LeBron hasn't had the consistency of defense.
This narrative.
Yo,
that
y'all
LeBron
are nasty.
defense
Hey,
hasn't started.
once LeBron, we can keep it a buck. Once LeBron could had the ability to defend, but once he lost that defensive player to get, he stopped caring, bro.
That's not true.
He played
That's
defense in
just not true,
2020.
'cause
He played
2016
defense
exists.
2018.
And
2017.
2017. He did not play AD. He did
I
not
got a
play
question,
defense
right?
in 2018.
He did not play defense at all.
He did not play a lick of defense in
He did not
2018.
No, I think
He didn't play
no,
elite defense.
but he was. Hold on, but he was
The last time
playing
he played
defense.
defense was 2017. No, actually
No.
2020 playoffs.
No,
But
20, it
aside
was
from that,
2020.
2020
Okay,
playoffs.
what was
Am
the
I
year
good?
LeBron
I'm
lost
not
the
counting Lakers
defensive
year.
Gasol?
Yes, you're good.
SB, that was 2013. So he did play defense in 2014. He did play
Okay.
defense. 2015, that was a weird year. 2016, he played defense. 2017, he played defense. Not 2018. 2019, I'm not, no cap. 2019, no cap. Before he got hurt, he was playing defense. In 2020, he's
true.
playing defense.
So I'll give you the years, right? I'll give you the years. From 2000, was it 8?
No, hell no, not 8. 2007. 2007.
No, he wasn't that good of a
So he
defender.
wasn't playing defense.
I
as a
would say
rookie?
09, but
No, we should say playing defense. Okay.
Oh, like playing good defense? Playing good defense?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Oh,
fine.
No. It ain't good. He's supposed to be elite because LeBron's supposed to be one of the
Okay,
best.
so elite, I would say from 2008, even though 9 was way better, I think 2008 he was still playing elite defense. It just that same year. Y'all look at
top 3 defender.
Ace 30. I understand your definition now. So yeah, I'll give you from 07 all the way to
13.
maybe 2015. I don't know about 2015.
Okay.
2015, nah, like 2015, it was a weird year. He stopped doing a lot of stuff.
I'll give
not
him-
even LeBron,
so
bro.
2014. So from 2008 to 2014, he was trying effort on defense.
Yeah.
After that, like 2016, he'll do it every now and then. Not a lot. 2017, every now and then, not a lot.
18,
2018,
absolutely
he didn't
not.
play a fucking lick of defense.
That was too much. That's too much offensive load. That's too much offensive load.
So 2019,
And he did have a
2019 and 2020, he was playing good defense. I'm not doing that.
He was playing.
I haven't
before he got hurt.
I'm talking about the year. I'm talking about the year when he went with Lonzo and them. He was playing defense up until
He was.
hurt.
We ain't doing that.
That's true.
Yeah, before he got injured,
He
yeah.
played defense.
Dub is 30 before I ask my question that I gotta ask. Is we counting Paul George as a small forward during that Pacers time, correct?
Yeah.
It depends.
He was a
It
good
depends.
Oh, no, he was a shooting guard. He was a shooting guard back then.
Paul
He's-
George as a Pacer was a small forward, I think. He was
Okay.
No,
I thought he was
he started as a shooting guard until Danny Granger got hurt. Then he took the small
Then he
forward.
became
Okay,
a
so my
small
question
forward,
is this
yeah.
though: besides Kawhi Leonard, and we're gonna count Paul George, how many years was LeBron James at minimum the third best defender small forward? But behind Kawhi,
It was
he had at least been a
2020,
third or a second.
2020, 2019. I don't care what y'all say. 2016. Definitely from 2014 to 2014.
2019, he was top
2014. Yes. 2014
Top three,
to
I'm saying
Hell
top
no.
3.
yes, 2014 to 2009, definitely. So the only year that's debatable is or hell no is 2015, 2016, 2017. No, not 2016. 2015, 2017, and 2018. Those are the 3 years. I'm like, nah, he definitely was the top 3 wing defender.
What
How
the
is he a
fuck?
top wing defender in 2019?
What year did Jimmy Butler become a small forward?
That's just a bad question to
I
ask.
think he became a small forward when he
Because
went
this is
to,
like-
No,
Yeah,
LeBron.
when did Jimmy become a small? I think
the
Jimmy
year he went to
Jimmy
Miami.
became a small
last
forward.
year-
No.
last
Jimmy
year
became
in
a small forward when
Chicago.
Luol Deng
Last year in
got
Chicago?
out of there.
His last year in Chicago.
Didn't he become a small forward when he went to Minnesota though?
No,
Yeah,
No,
he
they
was
had
small
wings
forward in
at
Minnesota.
3.
he was small forward
Yes.
and a shooting guard.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He was a tweener.
So you
They
can say
put Wiggins at shooting guard.
You can say his last year in Chicago until now he's been small forward.
Yeah.
He's talking about top 3 in his position. Is Draymond
Yes.
Green a forward?
Defensively?
No,
No,
Draymond
he
Green
said
was
small
power
forward. He said small forward.
Small forward.
He said small forward. That was SB said.
But forwards and shooting guards really guard the same people. It's just whoever the better defender gonna guard the best.
It depends what type of forward you are. It depends what type of forward you are.
Okay, so do you think he was a better defender than PG in 2019?
No.
No,
Okay.
but that's not what SB asked. That's not what SB asked. He said, was he a top three at his position? I think he was the third best defending small forward in 2019. Absolutely.
That's not a crazy bar though.
Behind Kawhi and PG.
Wait. So Robert Covington wasn't a better defender than him?
Oh.
No.
What?
No.
He might have been.
I know.
He might have been.
I know. He wasn't. He wasn't. I know this.
No.
That's a quick no because I remember what LeBron was doing before he got hurt. People forget that team was a top 4 seed in the West for a reason.
Wait, that team. LeBron defensively was not the reason why they were like that, though.
We agree to disagree.
Let's look at what year was this with the Lakers?
Trevor Ariza or
2019.
Trevor Ariza or LeBron?
Are you gonna ask that? But say no to Rocco.
I'm taking LeBron.
I didn't say no to Rocco. I didn't say
Khalil,
no.
you know I'm with you on LeBron fan, but give me Rocco, bro.
Oh, if I said no, I meant
easily a better defender than
if I said no,
give me Rocco,
if I said
bro.
no, I meant like LeBron wasn't.
But that's his only job.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's his only job. I expect him to be better than LeBron at defense. If that's his only job.
Wesley Matthews.
Nah.
Hey, what hell? Wesley Matthews is not better.
Al-Farouq Aminu? Nah.
No.
It's not defensive potential. It's just who was playing defense better.
Danny Green? Nah, let me chill out.
That's
it's
it.
like the same arguments with Kobe, right?
Yeah, Dub. That's what I'm saying,
yeah.
Dub. Yeah.
It's like the same arguments with Kobe. Like y'all get mad when be like, oh, he won all those NBA defensive awards, but it's like his potential was still like up there.
No, like, what it was as like what comes to Kobe, especially after like 2008, especially start 2008, his offensive responsibility was way more. He started playing more off ball, so he was only taking those defensive assignments like really towards the end of the game, opposed to like pre 2008.
Dog, Rocco in 2019 is a better defender than Kawhi too.
All right.
No. I mean,
wait,
I want to use that.
Wait, what year?
I'm talking about Robert Covington. Any year from 2018 to 2020.
No, I want
that is literally like the best
Can you
wing
explain
defender.
brother?
He was better than Kawhi.
Can you explain?
Shout out Rocco though. He was awesome.
My reasoning. Literally any type of way you want to utilize Rocco defensively, you could. Whether it's isolation, point of attack, or you can use him as a chaser. Even though he's literally like 6'9", he's still one of the best off-ball chasers or on-ball screen chasers in the entire NBA. And then he was still a good help side rim protector as a wing.
Fuck. That shit's crazy.
And he consistently guarded the best players in the league and shut them down from their averages.
What team was Rocco on that year? Was he a Sixer at the start? He became a Timberwolf.
He got traded to Philly.
And then he became a Rocket the next year, right?
Yeah, he became a Rocket in 2020, and he was still going crazy on defense.
I think we overrating.
Giannis won.
But even then,
Giannis.
Even then, the bar. SB, I don't like that question.
Giannis is a forward.
Yeah, that's a low bar. Yeah.
Yeah, the bar for defenders like from that position isn't a crazy bar. So even saying top 3 guard at his position, like just the talent pool of like defending small forwards wasn't there.
I feel like if you ain't top 3, you're not elite.
But the bar could just be low. Right? You can have 2 elite. You could have 2 elite. You can have 2 elite defenders, but then everyone else just be trash.
Okay, I feel what you're saying.
I feel like that's kind of
it's like the 2010s era in terms of defense for the shooting guard. It's like you're not going to find a lot of elite defensive shooting guards in the 2010s like that.
Okay.
Exactly.
I never even thought of that.
Hey, I just
that's why I hate talking points like that as a buzzword. Was he top 3 in his position for this? Like, what if that fucking pool of players was just ass? Like what bar is that?
It could be. Hold on, wait, because this is the same point I get on Chill Head about. Like he said, Steph Curry's a combo guard and a point guard because he counted his assist numbers. I'm like, bro, chill. Do you understand that Steph Curry was top 10 in assists twice, and he was top 5 in assists once in his career? So why you not labeling him a point guard? Because of the play style I played in the league.
That's an old head thing.
Yeah,
that's just chill out. Chill out is like there's certain old head ways of thinking he just can't let go of, and that's one of them.
I have to ask the whole panel a question: is Steph Curry a point guard?
Yes,
he's definitely a point guard. What is he?
I just had to make sure. I just had to make sure.
Is my left nut on my left side?
I just had to make sure, bro.
I mean, you might have one. I know you might have one.
So it's on both sides.
I don't know.
Because I just had to make sure because some people don't think Curry's a point guard.
No. The thing is, and it's weird. It only started in the 2010s. For some reason, since the 2010s, point guards get penalized for being great scorers. When you look at, if you do your research, Tiny Archibald was a elite scorer. Oscar Robinson was a elite scorer. Jerry West was a elite scorer. Even Walt Frazier was getting buckets. Like this is like bro, it don't make any sense. I don't get it.
Can we stop this narrative and stop letting people? I'm letting y'all know now. Stop letting people tell y'all Draymond Green was a primary ball handler because that's not 100% the case every time with the Warriors.
But can we all agree with this that Draymond helped Steph more than Steph helped?
All right, not again.
Yes,
man.
we can, Doug.
What?
Yes, we can.
Not again, man.
All right, here's my.
It's
thing.
just a
I'm not
fact.
listed at the position.
If I have a
fact.
dude, if I have a dude that's helping me on both the offensive side and defensive side, 1 + 1 = 2. And if 2 is greater than 1. Stephen Curry didn't help him on defense. He helped him on offense. So it has
He
to be
did help
Draymond
on
Green.
defense, but like I'm not gonna cap Dub, bro. When you see that dribble handoff and you be seeing 2 to 3 people looking everything at stuff and don't care what Draymond does after you get that ball, that's hella help. That's hella help.
Hey, but listen, they ain't start doing that till Draymond got there, baby.
What?
Huh? Did I stutter?
What?
Did they
Hey,
start
Cal
doing?
Korver
They
had the
did not
same
start-
impact you talking about.
They did not start doing that until Draymond got there. So therefore, Draymond is the one that opened that gate.
JJ Redick had the
I
same
really
impact
started
you
that shit in
talking about.
2016, not 15.
You said what? You said what, Khalil?
The entire like motion offense shit, like the deep stretches of the motion offense really started in 2016.
That's a fact.
And then 2016,
When they
I ain't gonna lie,
realized the importance of Draymond Green and what he could provide for that crew, that's
Yeah.
when the motion offense really started killing the league.
and the league didn't know what to do. I ain't gonna lie.
400 threes because of Draymond Green's capability.
Yo,
That's All right, bro.
That's a fact.
I'm not lying. This is a
Come
fact.
on, bro.
It's a
Come
cold.
on, bro.
I wish I was lying to y'all.
No,
and I'm
say that
not.
with a straight face.
I did. What?
Do it again.
say it. 402 threes because of what?
I said 402 threes because of Draymond Green.
We ain't got to do this.
With a straight face. Oh,
Like,
We
what are
got
we
this.
talking about?
We ain't got to do this, man.
So Dame would drop 400 threes.
Dog, do y'all have any idea how
Is
many?
he on the Golden State Warriors?
350,
Yes,
350.
bro, just
No.
replace Curry, bro. Just put Dame on there.
I don't think y'all understand how much 40.
Bro, the
400
shooting
is,
talent
bro.
you need to get
If
those
all,
off.
if all Dame has to do, is just catch a dribble, hand off, do a spot up shot real quick, why not?
That isn't what
Yeah,
Steph Curry was doing, though.
Especially when you got a moving screen to help you.
Moving screens, talk about
Yeah,
it.
I don't think he's hitting at the same clip. I'm not gonna
Y'all
lie.
nasty.
When you got somebody when
Hey,
Draymond out there playing linebacker.
No, do this, right?
Linebacker's
see some
crazy.
Videos, look it up on YouTube or whatever. I was watching some videos online of like prime Golden State Warriors. Bro, these motherfuckers was just extending their arms out, grabbing
Andrew
dudes.
Bogut.
Like it was
Knees
yeah.
wide.
No, there was a couple movie screens. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I'm not gonna cap. They
A couple
all
of games.
did
It was a
it. Clay
couple of
did it. Clay did it.
All of
Pachulia did it. Oh, I'm not. They all did. I'm not gonna
Like
cap.
that's
Curry does
crazy
it
to
too.
me. Curry, they all do it. They're playing football out there, bro. I see Draymond tackle somebody. Literally.
Kevin
You know
Porter
the
Jr.?
clip where he just
Yeah.
coming down court,
You know Kevin
bullying,
Porter Jr. got hurt on that
pushing
play.
5 people?
And I bet there was no moving screen call.
Not at all.
Like, come on, bro. Like,
Just
what are we
barreling
doing?
over folks.
I gotta
Like,
say,
what are we
though,
doing, bro?
That was this playoffs versus the Kings.
And y'all want me to respect that? Y'all want me to respect that offense? Fuck out of here, bro. They cheating. They cheating.
I forgot what series it was, but it was
Tell
like,
that nigga to do something. Tell Steph to do something without a screen.
Word. He'll get locked up by Kevin Love.
Locked up by Tristan Thompson.
that did happen.
locked up by
AD.
Kevin Love.
All of them. I just
Nah,
said that.
I'm not like big. Okay, why do the big men do have a good job guarding Curry like certain moments? It is kind of crazy.
Because Stephen Curry.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Because Curry's
Let me know.
There's
Because
a
he's not an
wide
ISO
sample size
scorer.
of just
He's not an
falling
ISO
in your
Hold
favor,
on. Where was
bro.
hold on? What was the screen? What was the screen when he dropped Chris Paul and did that 3 on the Clippers? What
he
was that
stepped
screen?
on his foot. He stepped
No.
on his foot.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
What was the screen?
Why do y'all run to that
what was the
every time?
screen?
Y'all run to that moment every time.
No. There's other moments. What was the screen where he was literally dancing between 3 Clippers players, made the top of 3 key?
There was a screen.
What was the screen for that?
That was just bullshit.
No. What was the screen?
That was just
That was
That
bullshit.
play started with a screen, and that's badass defense. That's just badass defense.
You just
That was
got
bad defense.
stuff like that. You just gotta let rock, bro. Like if he make,
Paul George would say that's a
He's
bad
not doing
shot.
that all game. He's not doing
Paul
that.
George
all
would
game.
say that's a bad shot.
I mean, that is a bad shot.
It is a bad shot.
But I'm just saying that's what Paul George would
He's
say.
one of the best terrible shot makers, bro.
You got a better pull
You know
up
what?
jumper.
Hey, Sturdy, that's why I don't like him. Because when I watch Stephen Curry play, I'll be like, bro, this shouldn't go in. These are terrible shots that he's taking.
No, that's the thing, though. He's so great that most people can't make those shots, but he can. That don't make it.
Why don't none of them shots? Why don't none of them shots go down when it's time to?
It did in 2022.
Not really.
Man, stop bringing up that weak ass run, bro.
That weak ass run. All right, bro. You think averaging 35 against the best defense in the league? That's weak. You right?
Have y'all ever watched your?
When they playing drop coverage, hell yeah, that's weak. When they playing drop coverage,
no, that's Steph Curry's fault. That's Steph Curry's fault.
Because they were dead going out on Steph.
Yeah, A-Story. Because I'm about to tell you that was a terrible. That was a terrible.
That was a bad defense win.
Man, Dev, I'm talking.
Also, my phone.
I'm on bad. Well, what's it called? That was a terrible defensive Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Defensive game plan against the Warriors. Like, I don't know why they were thought that was going to be a reliable
game. The reason why they did that, because a lot of people, like, when you play the Warriors, what kills people is not really the threes. It's really the counters to the threes. It's the easy open layups. It's the easy back cuts. It's stuff like that really opens up their offense. So what even Doka had in mind was, let's try to take away those actions and then force Steph to beat us. And he did that for the first two games, and Steph was cooking. So he tried to adjust it in the middle.
I hate that way of thinking, because I keep telling people all the time, the reason why it opens up is because of how much they have to play the three, right? Because if you sit here and do what Ime tried to do, guess what? They're about to get torched, so you're fucked. They proved that already. They proved that in the mid-2010s why they had changed the defenses around. The way you stop those cutting lanes happening is y'all just got to guard the fuck up, which is why I said Miami Heat would have been better suited going up against the Golden State Warriors than the Boston Celtics, because we had the ability to switch 1 through 5 while the Celtics
Exactly. What they should have did was what the Houston Rockets did in 2018, which was what they did was they did a 2-2-1 matchup zone. So and then with the principle of switch everything. So basically the reason why the Golden State Warriors get so much easy open layups is because the miscommunication on the defensive side. Mm-hmm. So if you're the defensive team, you say, listen, forget whatever. Well, I don't care what they doing. We're gonna switch everything. And Clint, I need you to roam on the weak side. That's why Houston was very successful when especially defending Curry in 2018.
And also, I don't understand why teams don't why do teams not try to replicate what they did in 2018? Like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I was gonna say because
sometimes they don't have the personnel.
And ain't nobody worried about that shit no more for real.
But Boston had the personnel. Because you have Marcus Smart, who was one of the better point of attack defenders, Jason Tatum and Brown, who are good elite wings. Even though Al Horford, he's slow footed. You have what's the name as a roamer, and even if Al Horford is too slow, you can move Tatum down to the 4 and put in Derek White. So I don't understand.
Al Horford was an elite defender for that team in 2020.
I'm just talking about on the perimeter for the perimeter.
And Robert Williams was hurt that series too. So I think if Robert Williams was healthy, they could have switched it a little bit more. He was going with them knee swells, so he couldn't really move.
Williams always hurt though.
Yeah.
Robert Williams though, that's Time Lord. Time
Lord is different.
Time Lord is crazy.
Time Lord is especially on 2K.
That name is a little too big.
It's because he's always late. That's
of a goddamn nickname. But
that name is fire.
Having ass nigga.
Hey, I'm a call it a night here, man. About to go out soon, but gotta start telling people on PC that we streaming basketball content again.
Got you, Dub. Make sure you drink some water, man. Stay hydrated.
Yeah, man. Get the clear this time.
I gotta prepare for next week, man. But y'all be easy. Salute to
y'all. Pull up. Yo, hit the like button, subscribe, share. Y'all know what it is. Yo, look out for tomorrow, y'all. FYF, PC versus FYF.
Y'all FYF niggas getting smoked. No cap.
Let's see.
Oh,